What's up, my loves? Welcome and welcome back to my YouTube channel. For those who are new, my name is Lisa. I do story times, girl talks, vlogs, and everything interesting. So if those are things that excite you, be sure to subscribe and join the family. As you all can see from the title, today we are going to be talking about monitoring spirits. Now, I made a video some time back about destiny swapping, how your destiny can be swapped. And I got a comment saying those things are not real. Like, if you're Christian, if you believe in God, you should know that such things are not real. And guys, I want you to know that that is exactly what the devil wants you to think. He wants you to think that he is not real, he does not exist, because then you won't fight against him, you won't pray against him, you won't go deep into spirituality, deep into prayer to fight against him, and then he will attack you properly because you're defenseless, you don't have any armor. Even the Bible says put on the armor, you know, the armor of God to shield you against principalities. Because guys, we don't fight against flesh and blood, we fight against principalities and powers and demons, right? So if you're in that mindset of I don't believe in such, those things don't exist, you're very liable to being under spiritual attack because you don't even protect yourself. First of all, you don't even think you need to pray and protect yourself against such things. So you're so much liable to being spiritually attacked. But anyway, guys, I don't want to go so much into that because today's topic is about the monitoring spirits. Now, guys, I know most of you have heard about this term, the monitoring spirits. And I know there are some people that may be wondering, what do you mean monitoring spirits? A monitoring spirit is a demonic spirit that is sent to get information out of you. And this information can be used to, you know, block your blessings, to make you sick, like to just cause chaos in your life and setbacks in your life. And I call them demonic because our God is all-knowing, unlike the monitoring spirits. Monitoring spirits are not all-knowing. That is why they have to come and, you know, get this information about you so that they can use it against you. And guys, a monitoring spirit can come in form of anyone or anything. It can come in form of a friend, a co-worker, a classmate, and even a relative or a family member, a close family member. Anyone can have a monitoring spirit. And actually, there is a book I read that said that even animals, you know, monitoring spirits can come in form of a pet, a dog, a cat, insects. Like, guys, it's crazy out here. You just have to be alert, like spiritually alert at all times, and always stay prayed up. Anyways, I don't want to waste a lot of time, so I'm going to be telling you some of the signs that show that you would actually be under spiritual attack and you have a monitoring spirit watching you. So the very first sign, you always sense an unseen presence around you. Like, for some reason, you always feel like someone is watching you, but in actual sense, you're not seeing anyone. I know sometimes you may just brush it off and think, I'm just being paranoid. But the truth is that most of the times you're not just being paranoid, you have a monitoring spirit around you. And like I told you guys, these are principalities, these are powers, these are spirits, you know. So sometimes they may not manifest in the physical, but one thing God has given us is intuition. God has given us the gift of intuition. If you ever feel like there is an unseen presence around you, that is a sign that you could be watched by a monitoring spirit. Don't take this lightly. Go into prayer, pray against principalities and power and demons, break chains, break altars, and do whatever it takes to stay prayed up. Now, this also brings me to number 2. You always get distracted each time you want to take your spiritual life serious. Each time you want to pray, for some reason you feel very fatigued. You know, you feel you don't have the power to pray. You're like, I think I'll just pray tomorrow. Today I just don't have the power. You end up just going to bed without praying. Guys, each time you don't have the power to pray, know that there is a force behind that is making you lazy and is stopping you from praying. You may think you're just being tired, but these things, like, life is spiritual, guys. life is spiritual. There are forces behind you that don't want you to pray because they know how powerful a prayer is. They know. So if you always find yourself, getting all these distractions each time you want to pray, each time you want to read your Bible, know that there could be a monitoring spirit that is actually interfering with your prayer life, with your spiritual life. Maybe each time you want to pray or each time you want to read the Bible, you get a phone call and it's very urgent, and you have to attend to it quickly, so you ditch your praying, you ditch your Bible study. Like, you may see those things as small things, but they could actually be a sign that you're under spiritual attack and you have a monitoring spirit around you that is trying to distract you. Don't lose focus, guys. One thing about the devil is very manipulative and well calculated, so you have to stay you have to stay on guard and not lose focus. Then, guys, another sign that you could actually have monitoring spirits or a monitoring spirit around you, you have patterns of recurrent failure, like recurrent failure patterns, especially when you tell people or when you tell someone about your plans and goals. Guys, that is why I always tell you, don't overshare. Like, hush, don't tell people about your plans, don't tell people about what you're embarking on. Like, hush. Keep your plans and your goals to yourself, because you don't know. Like, you don't know people's hearts. And like I told you, a monitoring spirit can manifest in anyone, even in your best friend, your closest friend, your relative, sister, auntie, like anyone, the people you least expect. Guys, I know sometimes we get excited and we want to share our good news with the people around us, our friends, our family members. But before you share your good news and your goals, it's better that you first think twice, because you don't know. Like, you don't know the people around you, you don't know their hearts, you don't know who has a monitoring spirit, and that is why you find that most of the times you're planning to do something, but as soon as you tell someone about it, like, for some reason your idea crumbles, like it doesn't go through, and yet you really thought this idea was gonna work, like you had trust in your ideas, but after sharing it to others, for some reason it comes crumbling down. It doesn't manifest the way you thought it would manifest. Learn to hush, don't overshare. You don't know what spirits people carry. And actually, God hid people's hearts from us. You can't tell who has good intentions for you. Someone can smile in your face, but deep down they are envious of you. They want your life. They are jealous of you. You don't know to what extent that person can go to bring you down. People do witchcraft, People are able to access the spiritual world, the spiritual realm. And I know I mentioned this in that video of, destiny swapping, and I know most people didn't get this, but guys, these things are real. Some people are able to access the spiritual realm through witchcraft and all these satanic practices. Like, guys, these things are real. I don't want you to take these things lightly. I'm not saying this to scare you, but I just want to create awareness. Guys, life is spiritual and these things are real. And in this life, everyone has a star. We all have what we call stars or destinies. Some people's stars are actually brighter or bigger than others, And what people don't know is there are people that practice, all these satanic acts and witchcraft. They are able to access the spiritual realm and see your star and see that your star is actually brighter and bigger than theirs, And for some reason, they are able to interfere with your star, to interfere with your destiny. Guys, these things are real. Please don't pay a deaf ear. You always have to stay prayed up. I know most people be like, those things are not real. That is what the devil wants you to think. He wants you to think that these things are not real so that you can relax and sit back and not stay, prayed up and guarded up. Don't lose your guard, guys. Don't lose your guard. Anyways, that brings me to another point. You get disturbing dreams, guys. If you're one person that is always getting weird dreams, weird nightmares, you always dream of snakes, you always dream of snakes, you dream of, being chased by all these weird animals, that is a clear sign that you're under spiritual attack, and that is also a sign that you could be having monitoring spirits around you. Now, most of the times when we have these dreams, we wake up when we are so scared, you're so afraid and scared, and that is what the devil wants. He wants you to be so afraid and scared because fear. One thing about the devil, he rules by fear, by inflicting fear in your heart. Because if you're afraid, if you have fear in your heart, you're not going to, fight against him. You're going to be so intimidated. Each time you get these dreams, I know they may be so frightening, but I want you to remember, no weapon formed against you shall prosper. Just like he said in Isaiah 54 verses 17. Like when you get all these, weird dreams, get deep into prayer and denounce, denounce all this evil, denounce all forms of evil, all forms of witchcraft, all forms of curses. Like get deep into prayer. Immediately you get out of this dream. Don't fear. Break all chains, all altars, all covenants that were made in your name. Denounce all evil. Trust me, there is no one that is more powerful than God. Satan can only intimidate and cause fear in your heart, but all power remains with God. Like God is the most merciful, he's the most powerful, like he is it all. And like he says, the weapons shall rise, but they shall not prosper. Another sign that you could be having a monitoring spirit around you. Maybe you have someone that is always eager to know what is going on in your life. Like they don't know boundaries. They always ask you even the most personal questions, They always want to stay updated about your life, what plans you have, what is going on with you. Like that could be a monitoring spirit, and you have to pick on as soon as possible. Someone could gather information about you to take it back to the person that sent them, and sometimes these people could actually want to perform witchcraft on you. Sometimes they are told to gather all this information about you because they want to put, all these weird spells on you. Sometimes they gather this information about you just to keep tabs on you and know if you're doing better than them. Most of the times, if they find out that, you're actually succeeding way better than them, that is when the jealousy comes in, the envy, and before you know it, this person is bewitching you. This person is going to the lady, the witch doctors about you. They are putting spells on you, curses and all that stuff, guys. If someone doesn't know boundaries, if they are always very inquisitive about, your plans and what you've achieved and what you like, just be very careful and watch out for such people. Most of the times they don't mean any good. As well as the ones that, are always the first to watch your stories on social media. They never miss a story on your social media. They are always looking, but for some reason they never like a post. They never interact, they never comment, but they never miss a story. They never, they are always updated, and you're wondering, what is the point of even watching my stories and following me if you don't even interact with me? That just shows that you're keeping an eye on me, like you're monitoring me. Guys, watch out for such people. Most of the times these people are monitoring spirits. They have a monitoring spirit within them, and trust me, they mean you no good. If you can, block them, delete them, and cut them out of your life. And that one, I have actually experienced it myself. Like I realized I have so many monitoring spirits, especially on my social media, like people that stopped talking to me way back, but for some reason they are always the first to view my stories. Like each time I post something, they are always the first ones to view, but they never comment, they never like, they never say a thing, even if I post an achievement, like even if it's something that you think someone would actually be happy for you and send you a message congratulating you, they never do that, And just recently I decided to, delete and block such people, because it's like, you're not about to be monitoring my every move, right? Like, why are you so invested, yet you don't even like me, Why are you so invested in my life? I had to block and delete. because miss me with that energy. And then another sign that you would actually be having monitoring spirits and be under spiritual attack, you have unexplained illnesses and pains in your body. Even if you go to the hospital, doctors can't actually see any form of illness, you know. They can't scientifically explain why you're ill, but for some reason you're always ill, you're always fatigued, you're always sick, you have all these weird pains. My sweetheart, that could be a sign that you're under spiritual attack. You have all these monitoring spirits that are working against you. Go deep into prayer. And guys, when I tell you to go deep into prayer, I mean it. You have to go deep into prayer. I know most of the times, most people prefer going to their pastors to pray for them. You know, their spiritual mamas and spiritual papas. Guys, you yourself, you can pray for yourself. You can pray for deliverers. God gave you that power. Like, you have the power to pray against principalities and evil. You don't need a pastor. Now, I'm not saying you shouldn't go to your pastor, but in most cases, don't even wait for your pastor. You as you have to have your personal relationship with God, you know. Talk to your God. He is always listening to you. I know of prophets and pastors that charge people just to pray for them, you know. And recently, I heard of a story where a lady was saying she can't break the altars, her family altars, you know, her family evil altars, because this pastor said for her to be able to break those altars, she has to pay him 60,000, you know, 60,000 shillings, some weird amount of money. And I was thinking, oh my God, how gullible are Christians? Like, how gullible are we? You know, some Christians are so gullible. Like, why do you think it is that pastor alone that can pray and break those, you know, those altars? Why don't you have faith that you too, you can pray for yourself and deliver yourself and your family from all those weird altars? Sometimes I feel as Christians we are so gullible, and I think this is because we actually don't know the word. We don't read the word. But if you knew the word, you know, if you knew how to read your Bible, you would know that you yourself have the power to pray against all forms of evil. You have the power. You don't need to go to someone and pay money to be prayed for, you know. Anyways, guys, I'm sorry if I'm getting so emotional. Sorry if I'm spending a lot of time on one point, but I just feel this is something that I am so passionate about. And anyways, let me go to another point. I don't want to waste a lot of time. Very last sign that you would actually be under spiritual attack or have monitoring spirits around you, suddenly begin to get negative thoughts. The things that you once believed in, you begin to doubt them. You begin to doubt your potential. You begin to doubt all the things that, you know, you once held dear. That is a sign that you could actually be under spiritual attack, and you would actually be having monitoring spirits around you. Because one thing about these monitoring spirits, they want you to think that, you know, the things you believe in they don't make sense. They are not good enough. You know, they just want to demotivate you and depower you and make you feel like a loser. And that's why you see that someone was once, you know, very energetic, very hardworking, very motivated, but all of a sudden they become lazy. They don't want to work on their projects anymore. They become depressed. You know, they no longer have the thrill and the zeal for life they once had. That person could actually be under spiritual attack, and they could actually have monitoring spirits around them. Guys, like I said, I've not done this video to scare you, but to enlighten you so that you stay guarded. Don't let the devil take control of your life. You have the power to fight against principalities. You have the power to fight against evil. You know, so stay prayed up, don't lose focus, stay guarded up, take your spiritual journey serious, and above all, have a relationship with God, guys. Anyways, I'll end this video right here. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let us discuss more in the comments. Share with me your ideas on this topic, and you know what you think about this topic. I'll be very glad to hear from each one of you. Till next time, I remain Lisa. Peace and love. Bye.